Hello, everyone. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Yul Brenner, and AI. As you see, he's got a little AI going on there. Donovan always gonna come with something else. But anyway, I'm not mad at it. I might come on here like that next time. We'll see. Anyway, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Also, like I said, giant thank you and hello to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are participants and family. And sometimes we share the link. If I share the link and your profile looks like this, and especially if I've never seen you on here before, please show me this. And if you're not comfortable, you can go back to that. Just know that no one, not even Donovan, can see you until I bring you up to the big screen. Also ask that we in the comment section to be respectful as we can, because it's not that we disagree, it is how we disagree. I also ask for the same thing here on the panel, as sometimes topics get a little bit heated, but we have to keep our cool and be respectful nevertheless. Today, we're going to talk about a trending photo that implies that Black women are no longer going to be saving the country. And some of y'all probably already seen it as I put it on the thumbnail, but I want to try to dive a little bit deeper into it and, give my little 1.5 cent, I guess, whatever it's worth to you. Anyway, Donovan, how are you?
I am doing great on this beautiful day. No, I'm joking. It's 3 o'clock here in California. That means it's Demetra K time. You guys do us a favor. We have a scrolling banner at the bottom. You want to donate to the show, as a lot of you guys have been donating. And by the way, thank you. Every bit does help continue to make the show go great, have these great conversations. Where you can donate is Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money order, barter. We take it all, however you guys are going to do it. Also, do not forget to take to download the African Diaspora News Channel app. We are going to start blowing that app up a little bit. As we know, Democrats believe in censorship and all this great stuff. The government in general believes in censorship. So if we have our own platforms, we can talk and do what we like to do on our own. So the African Diaspora News Channel app, you can get that on Google Play and the Apple Store, or do like myself, you can come right up here on YouTube and you could subscribe here, become a member. I do a yearly subscription that keeps me informed about a lot of stuff that's going on in the African diaspora, keeps these great conversations going. And you will also see videos that you might not see on YouTube that is in the African Diaspora News Channel YouTube app itself that you don't get a chance to see. So please go ahead and do that if you guys do that. And please like, share, and subscribe on your platforms this program that we have right now, because you guys did a great job of showing them what the new Black media can do. So continue to do that, continue to get that message out. I've been saying on my platform, because we've got some people that are just hardcore Democrats, and they can be hardcore Democrats, but my question is, why are they so comfortable with the Democratic Party lying to them? Follow the money. It's now come out. It isn't $1.2 billion that Kamala lost. It's 1.5, and it might even be more than that. The question is, follow the money and look at where this money has been leading to. Why is Oprah lying at the fact that she got some money? She said it was $1 million that went to her production company, which is Oprah. But it's now come out that Oprah got $2.5 million. Why are these people lying about this money? Roland Martin, he got $350,000. He's saying, that wasn't enough. The question is, you didn't give equal time. If you're a journalist and you are a publication, why didn't you give equal time to the other candidate? You are a paid shill and all this other stuff. So follow the money, follow the money. So let's get into it.
So hello once again to everybody. I think I waved at everybody up to this point. Miss Tiffany, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And Jerry, how are you? Says Black First Big Island, Hawaii. So is that where you are? Okay, well, aloha to you.
And so please say hi to Kamala. I heard she's on the Big Island too, laughing at everybody that supported her and, all the lies and stuff that she did, cosplaying as a Black person. But she's supposed to be on the island with her white husband. Say hi to her for us as well.
Hello, Wild Williams. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Samuel C., what is going on with you? And Black How are you? And Tracy. So anyway, let's get into it for the second time. So if you're like me and you spend some time on the internet, you probably see some of the same things. Well, I've been seeing this photo making its way all throughout social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now YouTube, I guess, But nevertheless, it looks like the artist inscribed on the bottom, Nikki Free, I believe that's what it says, is the person who originated this painting here. I guess that's what it is. And so as you can see, it's Black women of all types of hairstyles and things like that. They're drinking their coffee or tea or whatever it is. And they're sitting beautifully on top of a building with an American flag. And they are watching, I guess that's supposed to be the country burn, go up in flames, self-destruct without them. Now, as some of you have pointed out, the 92% that is on one of the sister shirts does signify the 92% of Black women that voted for Kamala. Okay, so they're saying, hey, we did our part. The rest of you who didn't, we're gonna let y'all do what it do. Now that Trump and MAGA and the Republicans are now in control of Washington, the presidency, House, and the Senate, right? Some say also the Supreme Court. They said we are tired of, and this is my interpretation. We are tired of being the backbone of the Democrat Party. Of course, the Democrat Party is supposed to be the party of the people. They're also supposed to be the party of Black people. And so Black women, they're saying, nah, we're going to sit pretty and we're going to mind our Black business and we're going to watch it do what it do. You guys didn't come through for us. We are not going to come through for you. Now, we have heard that analogy, if you will, that Black women have been let down. Of course, they are implying that Kamala is a Black woman, that she could have been the first Black female president of the United States. But that didn't happen. So Black women were let down. They're discouraged. They're tired of, helping everybody else and everybody not helping them. Now, I'm going to say this, okay? Because as you can see, I'm a very Black woman in every sense of the word, right? I don't just look like a Black woman. I talk like a Black woman and I walk like a Black woman. Now, I'm going to say this. Some of y'all may be very sensitive with today's conversation, and I don't mean for it to be, but I also want to preface it by saying this. This is not a beat up on Black women type of thing. That's not what we do, but I want to keep it a buck and let's keep it honest, right? So as a Black woman of 53 years, I think I've earned the right to say what I want to say regarding Black womanhood. This picture here that y'all looking at is a fallacy. It's a fallacy. It is a lie to say that the Black woman has now taken her hands off of democracy, and now the world, or the country anyway, is going to go up in smoke. We know it's a lie because, as I said, and I've always said, the Black woman can't even save her own neighborhood. The Black woman can't even save her own block. Oftentimes, she can't even save her own household, but yet somehow she's gotten the credit that she has kept the country together. And let's pretend that that is true. Let's pretend that the Black woman has saved the country. What did you get for your people? Why is it that you saved the country? Why is it that you sign up to be the backbone of the Democrat Party, but you don't sign up to be the backbone of your own community? Why would you sign up for such a thing? But I will concede this. Yes, the Black woman has been largely complicit in helping the Democrat Party. But what has the Democrat Party done? The Democrat Party has helped everybody else but Black people, including that Black woman. We often hear how Black women, the mortality rate is high when she go to give childbirth, higher than the white woman. For whatever reason, the Black woman, and her chances of surviving just simple childbirth, if you will, is a lot less than the white woman. The Democrats haven't fixed that, but they have opened up those borders with the help of that 92%, and in some cases more, right? They have opened up those borders and allowed everybody to come in here that wants to, and allowed everybody to come get housing, education, healthcare, money, jobs, and everything else you can think of, while her Black man is often looking for a job, looking for equality, and the most locked up. So with her saving democracy and saving the country, she hasn't been able to, save herself. Now, I know it's, as they say, tight, but it's right. We got to be a little bit more aware of the things that we put forth. Now, I don't know the intentions of the artist that did this picture. I'm imagining she or he, I don't know, is a black man or a black woman, and they feel like the black woman was let down again due to Kamala being this alleged black woman. But let's say that Kamala was a black woman. What did she do for black people when she was AG, when she was a senator, when she was a DA, and when she was the vice president? What did she do to help move the ball for black people when she had all of those roles? So what was she going to do as the president of the United States? So a lot of these sisters that's still running around in their feelings talking about, I'm shaving my hair off, we going to swear off men and all this other stuff. Why? Why are you in your feelings? All of a sudden you got a cape for the country, but not for your people. Now I want to show y'all this. I'm going to take this down. Give me 1 second. Okay. So again, if you see this here, let me make it bigger for me. You see this here. Where is it? Black women. The fourth, one down, 92% voted for Kamala. The blue is for the Democrats, Kamala, right? White women, almost half. But for the most part, she voted the most for the Democrats. Everybody else is kind of almost, with the exception of the Latino women, they are almost, split down the middle, which sounds about right. But shamefully so, the black woman has voted to the majority, to the demise of her people. And now she's walking around in her feelings because Kamala did not win to do more of nothing. Now I want to remove this. So the other thing is, we're mad because MAGA is in, play, and they're supposed to be doing all these things that are adverse to black people. Well, black woman, the 92% of y'all that are mad, why don't y'all take the Democrats to task? Because the 4 years that they were in office, they did nothing to protect black people. You know why? Because they spent a lot of time. Actually, it wasn't even a lot of time. It was like that. It spent that time protecting the Asian community by giving them an anti-hate crime bill. Black people don't have one, but somehow you're not mad about that. You're not mad that black people didn't get a specific hate crime bill, but the Asians did. So what gives you the right to be mad, run around talking about you ain't gonna do nothing? And like I said, I'm a black woman. I'm gonna say this: you ain't did nothing to write home about in the last, 4 or 5 decades or so. So really, you gonna sit on the building and watch the country burn? It ain't like you had a fire hose in your hand in the first place. Donovan, I'm gonna get to you guys' comments.
You took all my talking points, but I have to agree with you on that one because, again, I don't understand what the black women are mad about. When you look at the Democratic Party's platform, there was nothing there specific to black women or black men or just the black community in general. If the black woman benefits, the black man benefits, the black children benefit. If the black man benefits, the black woman benefits. This woman had nothing on her platform in regards to benefiting the black community. So what is the black woman mad about? No, ladies, and I'm going to say this, and I know you guys are going to get mad. Nobody cares about your coochie. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. What I care about is paying my bills and eating. That's what I care about. I think your coochie is like one of the last things I worry about. And it's amazing to me how these black women are so mad. And this is what the feminist movement has done when it comes to black women. It's like they've taken the slow bus, not all black women, because we've got a bunch of intelligent ones that come on this program. But in general, why are they so angry? Why are they so angry when it comes to men or a party? Okay, if you're mad at the Democratic Party, listen up, sis. You ain't the only one involved in an abusive relationship with the Democratic Party. We've been telling you that. Demetra and I have been saying that for at least 8 years on this platform. At least 8 years. And the proof is in the pudding. Because when I ask people since the civil rights movement, what has the Democratic Party done? I'm going to tell you, other than signing a bill that Lyndon Johnson did not want to sign, but he was forced to sign because overwhelmingly the Republican Party voted unanimously to give Black civil rights, while the Dixiecrats, a Democratic faction of the Democratic Party, fought against it. That's what I'm saying. Do these women, they're angry and they've taken the short bus to school. Do your facts. Yes, you're in an abusive relationship, but now, oh, well, I'm going to let the country go into mass chaos and whatever. You've been doing that for the last 60 or 70 years by continuing to teach your children to be Democrats and not teaching your children to be objective thinkers, logical thinkers. Average logical thinker, a female on this very show, logical thinking. So, I really don't know what they're upset about, what they're mad about, especially when it comes to men, because as you saw in that graph, 78% of Black men voted for Kamala Harris. But yet that's not a good enough. Fellas, this is what I'm saying. We could give them $1, that ain't good enough. We could give them $1 million, that ain't good enough. How many of you guys have gone into court, be it child support, be it a divorce? You've been married to this chick for 3 years. In 3 years, she wants your house, your car, alimony, and the child support. And then she wants raises if you get, more money and all this other stuff. No matter what we do, it's not enough. And I'm not saying give up on Black women, because I love Black women. But what I'm saying is we need to get back to common sense reality, because without each other, we are not going to make it. And especially now. I have a neighbor, a friend of mine, she's a neighbor. She's on the other street over there. Black woman. She is so pro-Christian. And I said, well, if you're pro-Christian, you're not supposed to be for illegal immigration. She goes, well, the people come here for different things. I said, look, go to their country and do what they did and see what happens. I said, pick any country in the world and see how Christian they are toward you. And she doesn't get it. And I had to explain to her how illegal immigration hurts Black people. If they're here, how is her grandson going to get a job? Because we happen to know here in the warehouse capital of the United States, of Moreno Valley, that when Hispanics get into positions of management or supervisors, they do everything they can to push the Black employees out so they could get their mananas and their people in. And that's just a fact. And that's why you have roving groups of young Black men and women walking around with no jobs. The young Black girls are out here selling coochie cat on G Street in San Bernardino and on University Avenue here in where I live, because that, quick money, they need it. So, this anger that they have, it's really displaced. They are part of the problem. And when you're in an abusive relationship, the first thing you got to do is acknowledge that you are in that abusive relationship.
Yes. And hello to everybody. And I want to also acknowledge too that, shouldn't a Black man be sitting up there as well? Because he was next in line to vote more for Kamala than anybody else. So he should be sitting up there drinking him some latte or whatever it is they got up in their cups, right? So to say that it's just the Black woman and she is like, knock it off, okay? Because you always want to, when I say you, I mean them, not all Black women, but negate the Black man and the role that he has with the Democrat Party. Black people in general vote more for the Democrats than they do any party, but somehow the Black man gets left out of that conversation, and he continues in a way to be blamed for not helping Kamala. Of course, we saw that with Barack Obama when he came out there pointing a finger, and a lot of other Black men went out there telling Black men, you better get in line, you better, vote for Kamala, stop being misogynistic and all this other stuff. So I just wanted to, point that out, that, Black men also helped. Just my 4 cents. Thank you so much for the donation. Somebody else give me a donation. Let me get down to it. A jive turkey. It says that's a 92% that wanted to stay on the plantation. Yeah, you can say that. It's like what you're mad at. And I saw somebody else say too, white women that, they ain't tripping. There's some of them, they shaving their hair off and talking about they gonna be joining the 4B movement, but whatever. You know what I mean? Do the voodoo that you do so well, sis. Max Red, how you doing? I hope I said that right. He says, why aren't they not mad at Biden for not stepping down and making Kamala president? You ask a good question. He could do that, right? But no. Let's see. Valerie says white women promoted that madness and then use your black voices to help them, and they didn't even vote to help themselves. Stop being silly, right? But again, sister, stop falling for the madness. Stop falling for it. That white woman don't care about you like that. She care about herself. She only needs you as a body count, right? All right. So let's see here. Arneva, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else came on here. Yes, Kimberly, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. It says if the black woman blocks her man over Kamala, don't be mad when he pulls up a white woman. Kamala got a whole white husband, a whole white husband. She is she doing the hula dance with her husband in Hawaii, her white husband in Hawaii.
Ask me, real quick to cut you off. How do you go to Hawaii and you're $20 million in debt? Shouldn't she be out here on the stroll, trying to get that money?
I don't know about all that. I don't know if she should be on the stroll, but I'm just saying, she out there with a white husband. She ain't missing the beach. Y'all cutting y'all man off of Kamala like, shoot, I'm going to go mess with some lays in more than one way. You know what I'm saying? But y'all sitting up here crossing your legs real tight, talking about we're done with men. And Kamala ain't doing that. She should be leading the pack, ladies. Let's go, ladies. Tell them no. Cross your legs. Pluck every hair off of your head. You know what I mean? She ain't... Kamala like, y'all got me messed up.
Wait. Why would a woman that didn't close her legs tell women to close their legs?
All right, now you get a little
I'm just saying. She did a great job, but I'm just saying. How does a woman who doesn't have children tell women they should have the right to kill their children?
Yeah. I get you. Let's see. Let's skip down. And Angela, Destiny, how you doing? Says Kamala is somewhere vacation and not caring as usual about black women. Life's short. Get over it. The chameleon lost. Yeah, she's all right with it. I'm sure she is. S. Williams, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Get a girl. What's going on? She says they're mad because they're delusional, thinking they were in control of something and learned they ain't in control of nothing, not even their own lives. Yeah, but they got all this power. Why ain't you using it to help your own people? Thank you, Dano. I love and appreciate you for that. The Mario, what's going on with you? Says, why are the numbers that damn high in the first place? What are black women seeing in the Democrats that needs to be studied? And honestly, because the Democrats gave them false titles. You are the backbone of the Democrat Party. If it wasn't for the black woman, the Democrats wouldn't be in power. And it's like, but the black man always is really kind of right behind the black woman. This time it was a little bit more of a gap, and there was a lot of other black people who just didn't show up at all. But yeah, they get that false title of, oh, you girl, if it wasn't for you. And so I guess they really believe it. Bogani, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nubian King says you can't take that pee hole to the bank. Love is money. Bottom line, shit. Who you think you talking to? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I don't know who y'all be talking to. See, y'all need to sit next. Not that I do it, okay? I'm not saying that I do, but to sit up here and think that the pee hole don't ain't making no money, shoot. Y'all better stop messing with those women that's allowing y'all to bring Little Caesar pizza over and Netflix and chill with them for 2 hours, please. Anyway.
There's many stories of a brother that for 15 minutes of pleasure, they got a lifetime of pain that came with it.
I'm just saying, don't believe the hype, okay? That as they say, most women are sitting on a gold mine, okay? But I'm dying. That's not even where I'm trying to go with this. Dee, how you doing? Says, so women are mad because a woman who's not even foundational Black American didn't win. Oh, yeah, they hot as fish grease. Yes. Miss Sweets, he says, true, 100. All right, so Ayo, how you doing? Says 100% fact. Brother Reddy says, yeah, go ahead and try to sneak into Venezuela, right? And Danielle, you says, thank you. It's happened to me. Okay, let's see who else came up on here. FBA Clean, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. Yes, indeed. All right. Thank you, Ms. Sweets, for reminding people to hit the like button. Deanie, you says, Dr. Claude Anderson already told people since the early 1990s, the immigration is not good for our people, but yet sister sitting on top of a building mad because, they didn't get their way to a woman who was partially responsible for record-breaking mass immigration into the United States of America. Zip, zip, zoom, zoom.
How you doing? Man in there.
You don't get it. You gonna get it. Keep on. Zip, zip, zoom, zoom. How you doing? Says peace, love, and enlightenment. Kitchen is open. Yes, indeed. All right. So who else do we have on here? Thunder, he says they can constantly ignore the Black man that vote Democrat. A lot of Black men are getting tired of this. And that's why that percentage, that voting Republican is growing. I totally agree with you. Or sitting home is like, well, since y'all going to keep telling us to shut up, speak what you're spoken to, then we just gonna go do something else, right? Because that was for sure said to black men. Brother Perry, how you doing? Says, finally caught you guys on time. Yes, you did. And I'm sorry if I'm behind in the comments section. Magneto, thank you so much. Love and appreciate you. Says, Donovan is only here because the Cowboys actually won. Oh, is that what his disposition is about?
But the crazy thing about that is they almost lost last seconds. It was a great special teams game. But this goes to show you about the NFC East real quick. The NFC East, the Washington Commanders were the #1 team in the NFC East. The Cowboys just beat them. Philly's coming up. I mean, in that division, anybody could beat anybody at any time. I love that division. And again, the Cowboys should have lost, but I'll take it any way I can get it.
Well, congratulations. I don't know. Cynthia, thank you for the donation. And hello. Love and appreciate you for that. He says, Demetri K, let's keep this conversation 100. Democrats haven't done a damn thing for black folks. The immigrants must all go back home, period. Yeah, no. The Democrats have not. They haven't. And they pretend like they are or they have. And Kamala tried to come up with this black man plan that was really for everybody because it said others. But, a lot of people ran off the rails. People like Van Jones talk about it was a love letter from Kamala, from Mamala. It was a love letter from Mamala to black men. It's like, if you don't shut your bald head self up. Mata, how you doing? Says, Little Rock, Arkansas. Welcome. Missions Visions, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day today. B Baker, what's going on with you? Says divestors love it. Yeah, well, they gonna have to rearrange their understanding about some things. FBA Queen says Kamala was rumored to be divorcing P Dougie for real, and who done said that? I think Kamala gonna hold on for my cold dead hands.
At 60 years old, she ain't what she used to be.
Black American expat, how you doing? Says yes, Donovan. She's been on the straw. Y'all better stop talking about Kamala like that. Y'all don't make me get on my soapbox again. Y'all don't like when I do that. Y'all don't like when I say, well, if she used her she strolled her way almost all the way to the highest position in the land, and some would say the most powerful position in the world, and no pun intended on the position. Okay, so if you're gonna, ladies, I'm just saying, if you're gonna give it away, you might as well think about what Kamala did. I'm just saying, at least get that sucker to get you a super size or something down. Proud to be a simp. How you doing? He says, save the country, black women. This is announcement. He says, America's done with you. What? They're having a bank reset, downsizing the government. It is you that will be needing saving. Yeah, well, she can, if that is the case, let's see what she can make it do what it do. And listen, like I said, I'm a black woman. Black women are some of the most resourceful people on the planet, but sometimes, like with that picture I showed you, it gets a little bit ridiculous because it's like, knock it off.
And it's kind of crazy because the black women and children are the most unhoused. That's the new word, homeless in the United States. And they're bringing in these migrants, giving all these resources to the migrants. Why is it that some of these black women don't see the writing right in front of their face? They're prioritizing people that should not be over here, but yet you can't find housing. You're in shelters and all this other stuff, but yet you just 100% behind the Democratic Party.
Right. Yeah. So I see y'all saying there's rumor that they're having marital problems. I don't really delve into rumors too much. I mean, if they are, they are. I never want to laugh at people who are having marital problems, whatever. I guess it remains to be seen, right? I would imagine something like that, if it's true, could take a toll on your relationship, especially at the rate that she campaigned with 107 days, crisscrossing all over the country. Yeah, I can imagine Doug is like, hey, what's really good? Enlighten, how you doing? You say, hey, Demetri and Donovan, I saw that on X. I replied to it that it looks to me black women are later in the society burned for harm it has done to her family in destroying it. That's my mindset. I get that interpretation too, but I think the other way is because if you see the 92% on there, it's basically saying 92% of the women voted to save the country and the rest of y'all didn't. So we're done. We're going to sit and let it all burn.
And then going back to Doug, I could kind of see him kind of a little pissed off at Kamala. Not that she, did a bad job or whatever. But remember, Demetri, here, we had a candidate that ran. He couldn't keep his wife in check. She ended up running and her pass came out, which brought out his pass. So remember, Doug, some stuff about him being abusive to his girlfriend and some dirt really came out with the nanny. So he's probably pissed off at the fact that, hey, look, And there's rumors that she might run for governor of California or is a front runner for 2028. If this woman runs in 2028, this country has a mental issue.
LaDonna?
No. I'm talking about Kamala, but you remember the candidate we're talking about was LaDonna when all that stuff came out with her husband and everything.
Yeah. I mean, Kamala might try to run for governor, but I mean, California almost flipped red, so I doubt she'd be successful. Inez, how you doing? He says, besides being willfully ignorant, they don't realize how they will be used again to create division against Black men and a community in 4 years. That's why we got to keep talking to wake people up and saying, no, that's not what it is. And I would say, venture to say, most Black women don't think like that. I'm going to say, as a Black woman, most Black women don't think like that. You got to remember, that's Black women voters, not all Black women. You know what I mean? Habitat, how you doing? Says it's cheaper. Okay. Let's see who else came on. And King Micah says, we're on the verge of World War III and the vice president is on vacation. What the F? Right. Some tells me that she's all right with everything that's going on. Stephen James, what's going on with you? Frank, how you doing? Salute to you as well. Trenton makes, he says, cutting your family off and husband off for the Democrats, but worried about separation of illegal immigrants is crazy. Yeah, they are. I see a lot of sisters and people, talking about it's not right. They want to break up families and this, that, and the other. But, never mind your own, that what Kamala Biden was doing was actually hurting your own family, but you worried about them. Your priorities are jacked up, sisters. I'm just going to go on and put it on out there.
Right. Either we have laws or we don't have laws. So when somebody kills your loved one, we should just let them walk around and be free. Because that's basically what you're saying. Hey, this guy stole from me and took my TV or whatever they did. We should just let them just, without punishment, just go ahead and do it. So, why have laws? This is why I think there is a mental flaw in some of these liberals that are running around here, not just Black women, just these liberals in general, because it's common sense that if you don't incentivize punishment, the stuff's going to continue and get worse. Look at Oakland. Again, you guys, look at California and liberal policy. This is what happens to your neighborhoods when you fall under a liberal Democratic policy. It gets destroyed.
Absolutely. And zip, zip, zoom, zoom. He says, we know 30 million was raised in one day by Black people for Kamala, but what's the total? Is it 30 million in one day? I don't know if it was quite that much. I could be wrong. I don't know. But if that's the case, you're raising $30 million for Kamala in one day, but you can't raise none for your own community. It's the most dilapidated place in any city or whatever the case is. It's very telling of our priorities. Let's see here. Art, how you doing? Says, assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam to you as well. He says, just dropping by. A shout out to Don and his truth bombs. Yes, indeed. Brother Perry says, I voted for the orange man and I don't care if Black women are mad. Well, there you go. Say it with your chest. Current affairs with Sarah. How you doing? He says, as a Black woman, I stopped listening to Black women for decades. Says the sisterhoods are so toxic that they are enjoying being at the bottom is just shameful. Yeah. I often say the sisterhood is over for now. There is no sisterhood. The sisterhood is more interested in pats on the head from, the Democrats and everybody else than they are from even their own sisters. And I say sometimes too, and I don't care if people get mad, but often no one hates a Black woman the way a Black woman hates a Black woman. And I can say that as a Black woman. You know what I mean? So I don't know what else to say about that. Let's see. And it says supposed to be the most educated, but voted for symbolism. Oh, you stepping on toes now. You stepping on toes. DJ Specs, how you doing? Says my Cowboys and Sooners won this weekend. Well, all right now. Talia says that woman did not deserve to win. She didn't say or do nothing that showed us she needs to run a whole country. You will not get any arguments from me.
Yeah, I mean, when you come down to it, what was her policies? They did this cut and paste policy at the last minute. It doesn't make sense. And then you're buying people to support you. That's what I get out of. That's my opinion. When you have to pay endorsements, you're buying people to support you, which is a fraud within itself.
Yeah, Frederick said they did the boogie with Black folks. That's all it takes. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion shaking a money maker and all that other stuff, and voila, Jackie.
And just think about it, you got Glorilla and Cardi B, all these people that are like I mean, is this what they think of Black people when it comes to serious politics? Think about this, you guys. They're giving us Glorilla, Cardi B, Beyonce, entertainers, athletes, clowns, right? You're talking about the most powerful office in the world. You have the power to kill millions and billions of people just because you say so. And they're giving Black people in politics ghetto fabulous city girl vibes. Says a lot.
Right, Jackie, how you doing? He says we have nothing to do with immigration as a people. We must get together. How long have we been here? Don't take a stand on what they do. Come out of her and be prepared yourself. I love it. And welcome. Who's Dragon? I hope I said that right. How you doing? He says, how are Black women going to save the country? I don't know. You tell me. You know, I guess by voting for the Democrats, I guess. Mr. 619.
No, they're going to polls to the what's that? Holes to the polls and all that other stuff. They're going to just lead a mass symbolic voting gesture. I mean, you got Black women in the CBC, the Urban League, and all this other stuff, but we can name them. I had a podcast. It was called Black Politicians Ain't Ish. And now you're seeing other podcasters actually showing the records of these Black politicians, and not one of them do for their own people. They'll do for the Dreamers, they'll do for Asians. I exposed that years ago, especially when John Lewis was one. I showed that John Lewis, in the 30-something years as a public servant, civil servant, he did nothing for Black people versus his civil rights record. You know, you could say what you want about him on civil rights, but when he became an elected official, he absolutely did nothing for Black people. It's in the Congressional record. Go look it up.
Mr. 619, how you doing? Says, I seen that picture on a friend of mine's Facebook profile and just shake my head. Absolutely. Raven, how you doing? Says, this is a diabolical scheme where Black women in America are always raised above Black men in all industries, keeping division and unity between the two strong opponents. Yep, it has been that way since slavery, and it has continued in some way, shape, and form. So I'm glad you are cognizant of that. You're absolutely right. Jesse, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Lady Soul, for real, what's going on with you? Rodney says her cheeks were highly, what? You better stop. Brother Don says she whopped to the top, the second seat. Well, you know, it's better than whopping to the Waffle House. Emmett Bean, how you doing? Says Montgomery County, Maryland is present. Yes, indeed. Thank you and welcome. Let's see. Nathaniel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Bobby says, I guess most of the firefighters female. As a bottom up TV, how you doing? So that's a picture of non-accountability. Okay, that's another good way of looking at it as well. Let's see, Nubian King, it says all marriages are business deals. Jai Turkey says the shaming tactics. Okay, got you. Edgy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Kev J, what's going on? He says she will lose again. Oh, yeah, for sure. Gloria, he says, I live in Northern California and Kamala will not win. Yeah, she can't win Northern California where she got her political teeth. She ain't going to win nowhere in California. Inez says, still the white women are being hidden as always. The damage they did are on a hush mode. Yeah, they're going to, who me? Bat my eyebrows. Angela, you says, it wouldn't surprise me if she run in 2028 as the first divorced woman president. You better quit. Miss Sweet says, what does each side receive in this business deal, aka marriage? Y'all don't marry for love. Oh Lord, you really want to open these can of worms, huh? Mrs. Tiffany, you says Kamala's husband is her beard. What? Y'all better stop it. Y'all see, y'all what? My goodness. Thank you, Beverly, for reminding people to hit the like button. Love and appreciate you for that. Brother Reggie says, U.S. on the brink of getting torpedoed by Russia, and that damn President Secretary Jean-Pierre talking about Kamala deserves vacation time while Jurassic I love it. Jurassic Joe is out enjoying the jungle. You ain't lying. He did an about face and walked straight into the Amazon. Like, what? Y'all better get that, man. Right, Corey? What's sisterhood? Nanette, how you doing? Thank you. High Tech, what's going on with you? Says 300,000 Black girls are missing 80. Ooh, you stepping on some French manicured or pedicured rather toenails. You says 300,000 Black girls are missing. 80 plus Black students lack proficiency in mathematics. 85% in reading. Dalton is destroyed. Oakland is going bankrupt, but they saved this country. You better stop. Angie D, how you doing? Stay woke. He says, hello, Sister D. You are on point tonight. Tell the truth. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Timothy Richardson, how are you? Says, Black women, overfed children. Ooh. Joey, how you doing? Says, what up, y'all? Says, I wonder why so many sisters are against Trump. Do you think Trump doesn't embrace them? We know Trump embraces sisters because he was running around with a few of them in his heyday. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know what
Omarosa was a favorite of his.
Well, I mean, he actually had a Black girlfriend. It was out in the open and everything, but I guess I'm not saying that the sisters don't have a good reason to be against Trump. Trump, he's not, he's done some funky stuff. Let's keep it a buck, right? But it's like, how is it that you put him as being the worst as Democrats, and Trump has only been in office to this point 4 years, but you're saying he's done more harm now? Will he potentially? I don't know. But you're going to negate the 90-something years of us voting Democrats and match it up to that of Trump. And as I said, why aren't you mad at the Democrats for not stopping Trump? They had every opportunity to do it. They could have closed the borders. They could have given Black people a hate crime bill. They could have at least pretended like they were for that of reparations and a whole host of other things. They could have, talked about housing and all kind of stuff and business loans for Black people like Kamala was trying to do at the, 11th hour, but they didn't do that. So now we're supposed to be shamed because Trump is the president. Let's keep it a buck. Most of America wanted Trump to be president. So it wasn't just Black people.
And you know what's really crazy about that whole thing too, that with these Black women against Trump, most of them got their PP loan frauds under the Trump administration. He's the one that gave them the money so that they could be frauding. Now, it was Biden was the one talking about we gonna get every dime back, but it was Donald Trump that paid for a lot of those BBLs out there, a lot of those Dodge Chargers out there, if you really think about it, and they're hating on the man.
Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily Trump that gave them the money. And it was also, listen, let's keep it real. It was more of his people, because I believe that's truly who the PPP loans was for. People who already had billions in the bank. They're the ones that got those PPP loans. So yeah, it wasn't them. It was the Biden administration. Like, we want to find out who got this, that, and the other. We're going to hold them all responsible while they're giving all these bees away to pay for wars and all kind of stuff. Letting immigrants come in. And that's one of the reasons why I said I don't like to use this word often, but I strongly dislike, I almost said hate Biden, because you want to imprison the American people for getting a little change. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you allow on all these people to come up in here, all these migrants. Y'all flying. This is just the ones y'all flying in to the tune of 30,000+ a month. Y'all were doing that. Plus, you're giving all this money to fund wars, but you mad at the American people because they got some money. And we gonna hold you all responsible. So yeah, it's crazy to me. Godspeed says they found out the hard way that the younger Black people are not going for that, especially Black men. Yeah, they own something else. They not mamas and grandmamas, grandchildren per se anymore. They think a lot differently. They need more than just a symbolic gesture of, well, thank you. Here's your I voted sticker. You voted for more of nothing. Come back in 4 years and do it again. Let's see. Melissa, how you doing? Says that 92% are misguided. Yep. Bogani says, unfortunately, after 500+ years of operating in the system of white wannabe supremacy, our country is left broken and attacking one another instead of unifying and destroying true enemy. Well, if you know anything about the Communist Manifesto, that's what it's supposed to do. Communist Manifesto talks about how the capitalists are moving the money and making all the rules and everything on the top, while the commoners like us, the proletariat, are arguing over things like politics, gender, race, and a whole bunch of other things, right? We're too distracted to say, wait a minute now, what are we being distracted for and from, right? So if you know, you know. Toast, how you doing? Says, as a Nigerian American, I was stunned at the ignorance of Black Americans. Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Sharon, how you doing? Says, amen. They ain't worth a damn. Kim Lee, how you doing? Says, Charlotte, North Carolina in the house. Good evening, FBA. Yes, indeed. Welcome. Brother Perry, you say the only thing John Lewis did was get his head bashed in, and he thanked the white supremacists for beating him up. Y'all, wow. Valerie,
good trouble.
Yes. Valerie says, our Black Caucus has a voice and voted for all minorities of FBA. Well, it says that in the mission statement. They're picking up the causes, and I'm paraphrasing, of Black Americans and other marginalized people. Nobody else's caucus says that but the Black Caucus. Nobody. So I just want y'all to, get opportunity to look it up. That red boy, how you doing? Says all the 92% prove this election is that they'll give you the most while accepting the absolute least, just what the Democrats love. Yeah, they want to keep that black women on the chain.
Well, it's just like being in Congress right now. Let's say we're in the House, right? Now you guys see, even though 92% of people voted, 78% of black men voted, now that 25 to 30% of black people that walked away, we now control the board because they can't get anything. They can't win any elections without that little group that walked away now. So it's kind of like being in Congress. They tell us every year, we can't do nothing because there's not enough of us, whatever. No, if they would stand 10 toes down, okay, I'll give you a quick good example. Congress in the House, it was almost 50-50. It was 4 seats that they needed to flip before to turn red. Just 4 seats. If there's 68 members of the Black Congressional Black Caucus, there's 68 members of them or something like that. They're in the 60s. Who controls Congress if the Democrats are in control? All they got to do is tell Nancy Pelosi, until you do this, we're not voting on any of it. That's what the API people did. Look at how they got a hate crime bill. There's only, I think, 1 or 2 Asian senators, and maybe, I think there's like 20 Asian Congress people. But they got a crime bill because those 2 senators said, if you don't give us what we want, we're not doing a damn thing. And they got what they wanted. So now here we are, the minority of the black population. We now control the board because they can't win without us.
Lindsay Dean, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. It says so trendy to bash black women, but yet everybody gives a pass to those self-hating black men. See, that's the problem with some of you sisters. I'm imagining you a sister, and I'm gonna say this in all love. Y'all so busy not trying to take accountability because the 92% of black women are negating the 78% of black men that did vote for Kamala. So how self-hating is that to say you're gonna sit up and watch the country burn because you couldn't get your way? But yet the black man was almost, right there lockstep, and he voted the most besides you for Kamala than anybody else. And let me ask you this. What's more self-hating? To willingly watch your community burn, but yet you take credit for uplifting the country? You take the false credit from people talking about the black woman is the backbone of the Democratic Party. If it wasn't for the black woman in this country, A, B, C, and D, that's not self-hating. I don't know where you live, sis. But, if you live in one of our neighborhoods, do you walk outside and are you in love with what you see? Self-hating is continue to vote for black politicians that don't do anything for black people. Self-hate is keeping black politicians in office 10, 20, 30, 40 years of doing absolutely nothing for black people, but doing for everybody else. That's self-hate. And to sit up here and be mad because you part of the 92% that voted for Kamala, a so-called black woman that's not done anything for black people, but has done things to black people, that is self-hate. So before you talk about the black man be self-hating, why don't you look in the mirror and have a real good strong, yes, I said strong, conversation with yourself and ask yourself, as a black woman, why do you continue to vote for more of nothing for your people, but then you expect that pat on the head for voting for something for everybody else but your people? I'm just asking. Let me move on. Miss Drea, how you doing? He says if Biden steps aside, then Kamala is immune for the stuff that she did. You said, so is she? Is that what you're saying? Okay. I don't know. I think she would probably be on the hook. You know what I mean? Let's see here. D from NYC. How you doing? Says a lot of black women are delusional misandrists. Corey says, as a black woman, I voted for Orange Man. Oh, you better watch out going hiding. Do you still have an invite from your family for Thanksgiving? I've seen a lot of people. Joy Reid, they dragging her from here, there, and everywhere because she talking about basically that's what you get. I wouldn't want to sit at the table with you knowing that you voted for Trump. It's like, girl, shut up. Nobody wants to sit at the table with you, no way. Because you probably make greens in the bathtub like Kamala too. Kelly Goodman, he says, don't forget when Biden came after Cash App. Yep, you want to know when, people getting they nails done and all this other stuff. How you paying? It's just like, man, really? You giving all that money away? You want to know what people doing with the Cash App? It's ludicrous. Yeah, that's what people wanted more of, though. All right, so let me skip down because I know I'm behind. I want to catch up as much as I can. Acknowledging everybody I haven't seen. Terry Price, how you doing? You're welcome. Queen Adaya, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Danette, what's going on with you? Says, who asked Black women to save the country when our communities are in shambles? The burden of putting a viable candidate to beat Trump was the sole responsibility of the Democrat Party. You ain't lying.
And nobody's even talking about the head of the DNC was a black man. So again.
Yeah. Easy E, how you doing this fine Sunday? I hope that you are doing well. Hank, how you doing? Says, then tell us, how should FBA change the CBC? Change them out the seat. Vote them up out of there. That's how you do it. There doesn't need to be a Congressional Black Caucus if they're not doing for Black people, or take the Black out your name. Just say Congressional Caucus for everybody else but Black people. I'll be all right with that title because that's what they do. But they sit up and they lie every election season. They lie to Black people. In fact, they're not even really doing it as much because they are banking on the immigrants that they got coming over here, keeping them up in office. But see, it's starting to backfire because they realize they do need Black people now, don't they? They realize that. I'm just putting it out there. Let's see. Raven says, no other race feels compassion for us when we go through hell. Send them illegals back home. I live in California. Gavin, he says, Governor, damn, none nuts. I give illegals free health care and was set to give illegals $150,000 for homes before pressure made. The governor canceled the money plan. Deuces to the illegals. Ice, baby, y'all better stop.
and if you're going to tell it all. He pressured the CBC here in California to not embarrass him and put that reparations bill on his desk. So a lot of them bent over with the Vaseline and took it, and now they're getting the heat, and we're going to get them up out of their seats.
Oh yeah, they gotta go. We working on that now. Mocha, how you doing? It says that was good info about the Asian senators. Thank you. Yes, indeed. And Black, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Who else came on here? Strawberry, what's going on with you? Ooh, I'm so
and then let's, if we're talking about Biden and all the great job the Democrats did against Trump, rather than using lawfare against him, that backfired as well, in the fact that people saw, especially in our community, saw how they were using the law. 94 felony charges. I mean, come on. We're talking about excessive stuff here. People were like, come on. That's like when you get caught. Well, what do they charge you with? It's initially a speeding ticket, obstruction of an officer, assault of an officer, reckless driving. They throw everything they can at you. And people saw that. And that was Joe Biden that was doing that.
I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm independent from the DOJ. I don't know what they're doing. We don't know anything about that. It's like, if you don't knock it off. And I hope I said your name right. Lie, is that how it is? Thank you so much for the donation. Love it. Appreciate you for that. He says, salute, right. Great show. And Kamala ain't Black, respectfully.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, no, you know what? Biden didn't know anything. Even though the White House logs has Fani Willis and her boyfriend meeting up at the White House 2 or 3 times. What was she doing at the White House?
She wasn't at the White House. She wasn't there.
Where was she at? Was she in the back at the grill?
She was at a nice cafe, near the White House.
Right. See, but you see what I'm saying? And to me, I said this on my Facebook page. I've asked this question. Number one, follow the money. That's the one thing that I do say. But I always say this: what is it about the Democratic Party? And this is what I don't understand, men and women. You can't even take the fact that your significant other will lie to you, but you willingly accept people you don't know lying to you. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's lunacy. You know what I mean? And we've seen a lot of lunacy lately. It's like, is it me? Or is it you? Is it Maybelline? Like, who is it? Let's see. Who else do we got on here? Marcus, she says Joy running around like Golden Lord.
Well, the reason why she did that, because people kept calling her out about her Trump wig.
Golden Lord talking spicy. Yeah, she better stop it. El Hombre Negro, how you doing? Says, save us. Okay. One who cares, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Kara, what's going on with you? FBA Queen, thank you once again for the donation. Love and appreciate you. Says the CBC, Congressional Black. Wow. Wait, hold on, I got you. Congressional Black says gotta be voted out. I'm a woman, senior citizen, and I learned Dr. Claude Anderson for president. FBAs are waking up. Yes, indeed. And you know, Dr. Claude Anderson is one of us been telling one of us has been telling us for a long time. Hey, we are really about to be a permanent underclass. Keep voting for more of nothing. Keep voting for symbolism. Keep voting. And they ain't not coming over here to join us. They're coming over here to replace us. And thank God, enough of us woke up and said, I'm good. Thank you. Not going to do it this time. Because if we didn't send a message this time, we would not have had a next time. I promise y'all that. So we got to keep talking.
I want to reread this really quick. It's very important. Celeste Johnson says, AIPAC funds the Black Caucus. And I'm glad you brought that up, Celeste, for the simple fact that Brother Phil Scott, African Diaspora News Channel app, which is when I saw it, but you can download that Apple Store, Google Play. He talked about that, and he kind of exposed how AIPAC goes and gets these young Black candidates, and they vet them and back them. So your Cori Bushes, your Jasmine Crockett's, all of these people are funded, and you're absolutely right. Most of the Congressional Black Caucus is funded by AIPAC. What's her name that just got booted out of there? Bowman. If you don't do the AIPAC bidding, they either give you the money or they go against you. So you're absolutely right.
Absolutely. Al, you talking about, you thought we was going to talk about something else. Well, you know, we can, but you know, we're going to talk about what's trending. We still got to wake the people up. Give us some suggestions of what you want to talk about. I know we think
Go ahead. Finish
no, I was going to say, I know we asked people the other day, but we're going to get to other things. But right now, this is still hot and popping. You know, hold on a second. Lunice, how you doing? Says, I don't have a safety net. What do I do when they take away my disability?
Are they scaring you? Do you actually think the benevolent United States of America, who lets illegal people break our laws and we house them and we feed them, and yet we have veterans that are on homeless streets, we don't house them and we don't feed them. We tell them to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Americans in general, California, all these Black homeless women and their children. Do you actually believe that they're going to pull your disability from you? Do you actually believe that? Please don't fall for the scare tactics. Don't fall for that, because America, one thing people will do, we are still based as a Christian nation. We will take care of those that need taken care of. As you see, we've been doing. We're $37 trillion in national debt. What's another 37 trillion?
Yeah, and Lunice, I want to say this to you. Yeah, you know, don't despair. Do not be afraid. And I'm going to say this to you too. I think it's important for us to turn off the TV sometimes, because I know, you know, depending on what you watch, and I would say all news outlets, they're very repetitive and ramming the fear into the psyche of the viewer. So that's helpful to stop watching that, and don't let them stress you out into thinking that they're going to take your disability. Why would they do that? There's truly people who, and I'm assuming you're one of them, that need your disability. So why would they do that? Were they going to force all disabled people, you know, to go to work? Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things that has to take place before they could do that. But yes, please stop listening to the fear mongering. And I hate that different people are using their platforms to stoke fear instead of saying, hey, this is what we need to do to minimize the effect of anything that will come down the pipe. But I want to ask you too, what did the Democrats do to make your life easier? You know, Cart Gamer, YouTube, I think it is. How you doing? It says it's called Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, it's Stockholm Syndrome. And let me add this too. Do you know how much financial burden that would put on family members if they had to step in to do that? I mean, you got a lot of people that are just one paycheck away or medical crisis away from being financially ruined. So the government will have to step in some capacity. And I also want to add this also. The reason why we got to continue to talk about these issues that affect Black America and in America in general is the fact that that was one of the main problems of the civil rights generation. We're not saying what they did wasn't great. What we're saying was the revolution should have continued. The minute that they got their little this and they got their little that. They got their weed, got their hoes, got their Cadillacs and whatever. And they were partying and free love and sex. It all stopped. We're not going to make that mistake. So the revolution will continue. Just because we've won a few battles, the war continues, and it's going to continue and continue until we get this. We get FBAs what they need, and the goal is reparations.
Yeah, and to that point, Al, I think that's what you're speaking of. Yeah, we cannot go back to sleep, as Donovan said. I mean, well, that's the problem. We getting rocked back to sleep. You know, ooh, that was close. Let's talk about something else. Like, what else? Yeah, there's a lot of things we can talk about and we will talk about, but we cannot just say, well, that was close. Let's go on to, things that are maybe less important at the time, because we as Black people, enough of us woke up, but a lot more of us need to wake up. And at one point in time, we were all asleep, didn't know what we know now. So it's our duty to continue that message as much as we can, right? Unless you like being asleep. Race Pace, Los Angeles, how you doing? It says Democrat Party in a nutshell, put a black face as a figurehead, then watch the corruption happen in the background. That goes for the Black chiefs of police that let KKK cops brutalize their people. Yep, they go along to get along, right? Poor George, how you doing? It says Black people better stick together because the Democrats will find some other race to try and manipulate. That's what they were trying to do, right? They got very close to doing that. Ooh, did I get to the bottom? Okay, let me see. I think I skipped all the way down. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that I'm doing well. Okay, so let's see. Toast, he says, just subscribe, ma'am. Thank you. Love and appreciate you for that. And Cart Gamer, you says Bowman had to go. Yeah, Bowman. Corey, what's the other chick? Corey Bush, she got up out of there. Yeah, they gone, right? Ira, how you doing? Says Black people need to form their own PAC, Political Action Committee, and counter APAC. In fact, make them our enemy. Trust they don't want no smoke from us. Yeah, but a lot of Black people, they think that organization is all right. They just don't know what they don't know, right? Brother Reddy says, I hope Elon Musk buys MSNBC and fires Joyless Reed, Rachel Madcow, and that Morning Joe couple. Oh, did y'all see that Morning Joe, Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough, they went to the Trump Mar-a-Lago and they bowed down and kissed the ring. They spent the whole weekend in Mar-a-Lago. They said, well, we just wanted to get the conversation started back. Now, if you know anything about Joe Scarborough, he's a big-time staunch conservative, and I think he used to be a senator and all of that.
No, he was a congressman. He was like the number 4 in the leadership.
Yeah, so he's a host of a morning show now, but him and Mika are married. Sounds like now I ain't gonna get into all that, but nevertheless, they went and said, "Hey, Trump, I know we talked all that stuff about you. We was giving it to you greasy, but we sorry. We're sorry. Will you have us back?"
Yep, and Rachel Maddow, according to reports, she just took a $5 million pay cut. Now, this woman she comes on the show now once a week because she does mostly her podcast. They were paying her supposedly $30 million a year. They just cut her thing reportedly by $5 million. So these people are making money. Anderson Cooper, $20 million. These people, basically, when they're doing the autopsy, they're seeing that people are not tuning into the major networks like they used to. They are going to these podcasts. One of the biggest mistakes Kamala Harris made, and even though it was late in the game, and I thought this was the dumbest thing, and Demetra, tell me if I'm wrong, she didn't go on the Joe Rogan podcast. That guy averages 56 million listeners a show. And she didn't go on that show. That was the dumbest thing she ever did.
She should have. She I'm trying to adjust my light. Yeah, she should have gone on there. But I don't think he wanted to agree to what he can and cannot ask her. Bitch, they went, how you doing? So it's just definitely scary. I don't have any companies that will snatch those people's disability. Yeah, we just got to turn off the TV sometimes and go do something else. Go breathe in some fresh air, take a walk. Stop letting those people indoctrinate us all day long. Donovan, Al wants to know what you think about TD Jakes.
I don't.
So for those of y'all who don't know, we're going to get out of here in just a minute. TD Jakes, I guess, had what they're saying, a medical emergency while he was preaching, I guess, live on air and in church and stuff like that. course, a lot of people ran off with he had a heart attack, he had a stroke, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, was y'all in the hospital room with that man? And I'm like, it's the so-called Christians running around talking about the TD gossiping, for a lack of better words. Y'all don't know what happened to that man. And there you are gossiping. Me personally, I don't know what's going on with TD Jakes. I hope that whatever it is that he is well. I never wish bad on anybody at all because I don't want that to come back on me. So, I'm sure we'll know. And if we don't, we won't know. And we'll still continue to sleep, eat, and breathe the way we were before we found out anything about TD Jakes. Miss Sweet says, yes, Demetra, it's good to unplug the TV and put the phone on airplane mode, peace of mind away from the media. Yeah, because they're going to keep on ramming stuff into your brain. Miss Lachey Bain, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So America is just so holy, they would never do anything evil. And you're laughing, being facetious, of course.
And you also got to remember, you have a lot of veterans in this country, especially younger veterans in these recent wars. So, they're not going to sit there and let the government not do for their mama and their daddy and their seniors. It's just not going to happen. So you're just using common sense. There is nobody that swore an oath to this Constitution would let tyranny reign and allow them to do that. It just wouldn't happen. I mean, you really got to think about it and say, wait a minute, it's just not going to happen. People would rather pay more taxes. And that's what everybody's talking about, universal health care. You go to any other country, they pay high taxes because they have universal health care. We keep screaming, we want universal health care in this country. You're gonna have to pay high taxes. People will stand up for what's right in the end. And that's what I fundamentally believe. And you got too many people in this country that have weapons that will use them in the pursuit of getting their loved ones help.
Yeah. Yes, Powernomics is a great book. I gave it to my father. It is a great book by Dr. Claude Anderson. I suggest you all read it. It is excellent. Tosha said, I like this guy. All right. And thank you, one who cares. And I say hello to you. If not, hello. Tracy, how you doing? Says, repent, turn back, and trust God. God wants you to trust him for everything. He says, come out from among them, my people, and be ye separate, right? Repent and remember your history in the Bible. We were the people in, okay, there you go, the Bible. Got you. Cynthia, we appreciate you as well. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, easy. Yeah, I don't even know anymore. The Black Empowerment, how you doing? Says FBA family. See, Corey says we are needed. We need to wake up as many FBA Americans. Yeah, that's our job. We are the resurrectors, right? Nubian King says, when are y'all gonna start believing or start believing, or I think you mean living? Is that what you're saying? That no pale person is gonna help save and protect us. That's our job and duty. Hell, 12 residents and their wives had us as their servants while in office. I got to reread that again, I guess. Tracy says the agenda has been to keep us in Simon and going against God's plan. Okay. Frederick says if FBAs would have been the only people allowed to vote, Skamala would be the new president-elect. You ain't lying. Buckhorse in the building. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. FBA Queen says, tied to the new Black media. I love it. Yes, we have ways to donate to the channel. If you guys would do so, I love and appreciate you for that. Let's see. TEW, how you doing? It says, and believe it, the Democrats are already strategizing on how to get back those 2020 Black vote numbers. No, we can't let up. Nope, we got to keep our foot on the pedal. We cannot slow down and say, that was close. Can I do it?
Yeah, and knowing the history of the Democratic Party, as you see what's happening with some of these celebrities, they're doubling down. They're blaming you instead of blaming themselves. They're blaming you because you chose your pocketbook or you chose your family over Democratic policy. They're doubling down. So we got to keep talking that talk, because the more that they do not show and prove for us, they're not going to win any more elections.
Y'all didn't know Joe and Mika was married? Yeah, they've been married for a minute. They kind of cheated on their significant others to be with each other. I didn't want to put their business out there, but that's how they got together. They've been married for like 5 or 6 years or so.
And the funny thing is, she comes from a very stark Democratic family, and he's a very stark Republican and stuff. So her father worked he was the national security advisor for Jimmy Carter.
Yep, sure was. So yeah, she got deep political roots, right? Sister Dorothy says, I hear she's getting paid $25 million. She's not worth it. So who is that? Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, she's one of the highest paid.
To do what? To stoke fear. Brother
To
Reggie,
read the teleprompter and tell lies. That's what they're doing.
yeah. Brother Reggie says, Morning Joe turned on Trump years ago when Trump didn't select him as a VP pick. Yeah, now he's like, hey. Extreme X, she says she know Joe was gonna drill her with questions. Okay.
Mhm.
Carrie says Joe Rogan would have ripped her a new one. Absolutely.
My man Raven Mahdi says breaking Dimitri Donovan. Biden walked out of the rainforest this morning. So,
because I was wondering what happened to him. What was he doing? I don't know. I'm glad to hear that he's safe. Dave, if I didn't already, how you doing? It says if most, if not all, Muslims in Arab countries are anti-black and same with Hispanics. So it's a straight call not to get bogged down. I think you meant with coalition BS talk. I can dig it. Cindy says VP Harris' campaign team made a lot of mistakes besides not going on Joe Rogan's show. And you seen who her campaign team was, right? They did not look like us at all. Buckhorse says, wow, the wrath of the Most High God is here. You better believe it. If you think it's not, I got something else for you. Sean Ellis, how you doing? Says TD Jakes probably didn't take his pills. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. People going on with all these narratives and stuff. It's like, knock it off. You know what I mean? I can't stand people who gossip. I cannot stand.
I don't know. Diddy might get bail. They're talking. He's supposed to see the judge Monday, tomorrow. That bail hearing is coming up.
What they got to do with TD Jakes? You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Ellen DeGeneres left the country. I have respect for her. She left. I mean, a lot of these stars are starting to.
I don't know. We don't know till we know. But if anything else at this point is gossip. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. We'll know when we know, and we may never know. And what happened to JFK? Did a man really walk on the moon? You know what I mean? Is water really wet? How do we know? Who told us so? Herschel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Car Gamer says, I hope TD Jakes recover, but I side-eye him for his abortion promotion. Yeah, got you, Donovan. Yeah, I don't know. Jaeger, how you doing? Says corporate machine won't allow universal health care. Jose, how you doing? Says the black men are cooked. I hope not. I hope not. Miss Weezy says I pay taxes for healthcare rather than FICA. Who was FICA? Queen of Dia says Paranormus along with his other resources are good by Dr. Anderson. Yes, and Perry says if it's your vote, my friend, which is your right to vote for who you want to vote for. Yeah. And you know what? You ain't got to tell people who you voted for either. A bitch State Winner says, did you hear about the young lady that is speaking up about Diddy and other big name celebrities? May explain some of the missing border children to detail to be a lie. Very, very sad. I ain't hear nothing about that. I personally try to stay out of those type of conversations, if you will. I do, but I didn't hear anything about it. And Joanne, he says, so you're talking to Perry, okay? Tanza, how you doing? Says hello, Queen Demetra. He says my soul sister. Hello, Donovan. Catch this live AM. The end. Continue having a great evening. You have a great evening too. Raven says breaking. Okay, so got it. He walked out of the rainforest this morning. He was in there about a week or so, about a good week. I wonder what he was doing there. Reggie McCann, how you doing? He says I'm so glad we have this avenue to us to view the truth. All love for you, Demetra K, Sabby Sabs, Messy Michonne, Pink Book, Candace Owens, Dana, and all the other strong black women. Well, I thank you so much for that, and welcome. Current affairs with Sarah. He says Roland Martin is relaxing in collard green tub made by, you know what, y'all. I ain't never heard that name for Kamala, but you tripping. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see here. Cynthia says we have too many homeless veterans and American families, but we're paying for nonsense wars while taking care of Biden's migrants and paying for transgender surgery. Yep, that's exactly what's going on. More and more books. How you doing? Welcome.
I have a question. When it comes to Roland and that $350,000, he's complaining about the $350,000. It wasn't enough. He's talking to the federal government when he talks to Kamala Harris in that interview. Did anybody ever wonder, at least I did, when he was talking to her, and, remember he was giving his explanation about the money. He was saying, well, he was giving all this red herrings out there. My question was, you were talking to Kamala Harris. If black news networks aren't getting enough funding, you were talking to the federal government right then and there. Why didn't you bring that question up right then and there, Rolanda?
Not y'all calling that man Rolanda. Y'all crazy. Magnet, I don't know. Who is FICA? FICA be getting a whole lot of our money. Like, who is FICA? What is she working hard for the money? Like, what does she do? Is FICA a man? Like, what's going on? You know? Paris says, I don't know what happened with Bishop Jakes, but I know one thing. I was not at Diddy's Chicken House. Damn. All right, so let me see. Let me skip. Oh, I got to the bottom. Yay. B. Baker says, Phil calls him Boule Martin. He sure does. FBA Queen says, Rolanda is tripping. He need that money for back taxes. All y'all gossiping now. Y'all gossiping now. Y'all better stop.
Yeah, but you know, he's always complaining about how, you know, the black media. And see, and here's another thing. When this is where you can tell black politicians and the Boule ain't shit. He has access to talk to these people. Kamala Harris was right there. Some of these senators, Cory Booker, some of these people, access to power, and when he doesn't utilize it. So if that was such a problem, why aren't you addressing the people that you need to address? But he doesn't do that. He'd rather sit here and make you think life is unfair and they're just, you know, doing whatever. See, this is where the propaganda comes in, because see, he got paid. He made sure he got paid, and he's explaining, well, I got mine, but you know, $11 billion. See, and that's the deflection. Now we're all looking at the $11 billion saying, yeah, why didn't more black media get more money? Well, nigga, you were sitting right in front of the person.
Zip, zip, zoom, zoom. He says Trump appointed Elon and Ramaswamy a new agency to cut tax waste. They were naming some things paid by taxpayers. We are, you know, and this is another thing too. We got to understand that Congress still has to make the final decision on a lot of that stuff. And there's some Republicans and Democrats who are not going to be cool with, let's say, if they are trying to get rid of people's Social Security, because guess what? They got people who vote for them that are on Social Security, whether you're Republican or Democrat, and they got to answer to their constituents. And so they're not going to, I know they're telling us, oh, these Republicans are going to cut out all this stuff, even though they had a majority, but that don't mean that there's some Republicans that's going to do it. Some of them like, nah, at the end of the day, I got a lot of constituents, you know, that are on Social Security. I'm not going to vote to get rid of what keeps them afloat. I'm not going to do it. So we got to be a little bit more sensible in our thinking. Stop allowing people to scare the bejesus out of you. Please, I beg of you to turn off the TV. If you even got to do it for just 30 minutes a day, just turn it off, because that's their job, to tell lies to your vision. That is their job. It's propaganda and rhetoric.
Yes, and as we know, since the 1950s, the CIA has controlled the media since the 1950s. So all these programs, MK Ultra and all this other stuff, that's some real stuff. It really does go. The CIA program for the media, it's called Mockingbird. It's called Mockingbird. Look it up. That's what they do. They stem opinion and get people to vote a certain way or think a certain way. How do you think we get into these wars? Every war we've been in since World War II has been initiated by CIA influence, because guess what? War is big money. Thus, we have this proxy war that's going on right now, right? Who do you think is selling all these arms? Does this make any sense? We give Israel $300 million in just bribery money. And we also give them money in weapons to buy weapons from us. So we're, you know, it's like they have universal health care. They have free college. You want to know why they have that? Because they don't fund their defense. We do it. But this is, war is big money. And this is how they keep it going. They keep everybody in fear, having you hate a person. You don't even know why you're hating them, and so on and so forth. During the Gulf War, what was one of the main reasons they say we got to go over there and handle business? Because the poor women can't even go to school and they don't have any rights. And we got to go over there and fight for those women's rights. So we take our asses over there. We clean clock. We bomb the place back to the Stone Age, basically. Then when we're done and we got the oil fields, we leave and we don't give a damn about the women and the children and the child brides. We don't even care.
Daryl, you crazy. Talking about Biden went to meet up a corn pop in the bushes.
Hey, corn pop was a bad dude. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
I hate it. I hate it all. Woo, you crazy. Y'all, I want to go to this. We're going to get out of here. Reggie, you said, Demetri, we need to enlighten people with the whole story on how and why Black folks started voting for Democrats. LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson. Yeah, it actually started with Roosevelt administration in the 30s, around in and outside of the Great Depression. Black people got it the worst. White people had it bad, but Black people had it even worse than that. The Democrats, which Roosevelt was, did not want to embrace Black people, did not want to meet with Booker T. Washington, just didn't want nothing to do with Black people at all. But it was his wife, Eleanor, was like, well, they can vote. They can vote, so you have to be nice to the Negro. So he started doing that. And that's really how we switched over to the Democrat Party, because traditionally we were Republicans, right? So yes, LBJ with the Great Society and all that, yes, that had a lot to do with it, but it actually started in the 30s with the Roosevelt administration.
And then when World War II kicked off and all the white men went overseas fighting, you had a lot of Black migration that went up north to Detroit and stuff to supplement what was going on. Because remember, at the beginning of World War II, they didn't want the Negroes fighting. They didn't want the Negroes in there. It became a man shortage again, like the Civil War. And we got into it. And our Black Negroes were like, well, if this good white man got to die, Black people need to die too. We need to go fight for this country too. And that's how we got involved, because what happened was a lot of the Black men and women went into the machinist shops and were doing the work because all the white men had gone over to fight overseas.
Kimberly, how you doing? Says, oh, please, those maggots always vote against their interests. They're shocked. They want to destroy Obamacare, which is their Affordable Care Act. Yes, scare tactics. I mean, I think a lot of people vote against their own interests. So yeah, a lot of the maggots, if you will, some of the Republicans, a lot of them didn't even know what Obamacare was. They say, yeah, we don't want Obamacare, but they love Affordable Care Act. And it's like, it's the same.
Well, you got to remember, though, you guys, see, you guys got to, and you guys know politics really well. So I'm really glad we're talking to intelligent people, because you guys are that. But you got to remember, they have certain things they need to run on. Okay. So one thing that the red people run on is Obamacare, their hatred for it, whatever the deal is, and that gets their base going. What is the one thing that the Democrats run on? Abortion. That's what they ran on. And you could only run on abortion in the primaries and in the lower levels. You can't run on abortion on a national level. That's why they don't fix it. That's why in 50, 60 years, they didn't codify Roe versus Wade, because it's a thing that they can run on. Oh, it gets the women all moist and stuff. Oh, we got to protect our coochies. Oh, our women's rights. We got to do all this. And they get excited, and the women vote on it because they feel threatened that it's going to be taken away. So again, it has nothing to do with if they really believe in it. These are certain things they just do it because they know people are passionate about it and are going to vote for it.
Wilbur, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So we're gonna get out of here. Kimberly says these maggots are definitely not the same as them. I think you meant. Okay, I guess. All right. Yeah, no, the N-word is not a compliment. The N-word is not our word. So why do we get mad at that word? Why do we get mad when people say that word? It's not our word. It's their word. We don't. Why should we claim a word that does not belong to us? N-word that does not belong to us. All right. Jay says LBJ was forced to pass civil rights legislation because the degrees was about to tear the place down. Yeah, it wasn't something. He's very racist. Very. Just so we know, FBA Queen says we people have Black people have no friends. John Henry Clark, yeah, absolutely, master teacher. FBA Bro Reese, how you doing? Says be mindful that America's biggest arms seller in the world, so they profit off any global war. You better believe it. Mad Dog says, and then Teddy Roosevelt started giving Black people jobs in industrial. Yep, Dwayne, how you doing? Y'all crazy. Kimberly says women's choice, what she wants to do with their bodies. Yeah, but you can't run a campaign, Kimberly, on reproductive rights, and we know what they meant with that, and blame men. Kamala's campaign was up with the woman, down with the man. That's what it was. You men are protect. They're trying to do this and that to our bodies, but yet you want them to vote for you. Her campaign. Let's keep it a buck, y'all. I know y'all still mad Kamala lost, but her campaign was nonsense. She did not give people a good reason to go to the polls and to vote for her. And, you know, most of the country, even California, blue, okay, cripple blue, California, and New York came very close to flipping red. That's almost unheard of. So to say that it was something other than Kamala and the nonsense that she was spewing, it's nonsense. I mean, it really is. Nobody else but the Democrats give black people twerkers and, you know, all kind of the filth as a consolation prize for showing up to rallies. Kamala cared more about putting on concerts than she did putting forth things that people can vote for. Also, Kamala's campaign ran too far to the left. Nobody wants to think about their daughter playing in a sport with a biological male. Nobody, I don't care who you are. That's the stuff they were championing. Nobody was cutting for that. Nobody, a lot of people, I would say, did not love that border that was wide open that allowed everybody to come in. So I get it. I think that, yes, women, it's our bodies. Yes, it's our bodies. But it wasn't just women who could vote. Men could vote too. So to run a campaign on the deletion of babies is just insane. It is. And most of the people she needed to vote for her, like the Hispanic community, they don't cut for that. And even black women didn't used to cut for that until they allowed the Democrat to get in their ear with eugenics and all that other nonsense. That was unheard of almost in the black community. Donovan will tell you his grandmas and his, you know, had a plethora of children by the same man up into the 20s of children. That's not something they believed in doing. So I don't know. I just, wow.
Yeah,
Walter, how you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, at the end of the day, politically, you can't run on abortion on a national level because you alienate 50% of the voter base, which is men. Men don't care about it. You know, that's not an issue for us. So we're not going to even be concerned about it.
Celeste, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thunder says, is it safe to say that we've proven that if the Democrats lose 20+% the black vote, they will cannot win? Yeah. I would say it's safe to say they tried to make it seem like they didn't need us, but they be needing us. Kimberly, there's no such thing as democracy. I know damn well you don't believe that. There's no such thing as democracy. Democracy means that you have a say-so. When have you ever had a say-so as to what goes on in the United States of America? If you think that democracy exists, I want you to test this theory. Walk up to the White House right now and say, let me in. I got something to say. I think we should be doing this. And they're going to say, security. That's what they're going to say. So democracy does not exist. And that was another lie that the Democrats ran on, that democracy is in danger. But dear sister, you have never benefited from democracy, especially as a black woman in America. Democracy has never been something you can claim.
And if you do believe in democracy, 73% of the American people voted for Trump in the popular vote. He won the popular vote. He has a mandate. So Kimberly, if you believe in democracy, like you're saying, then you should be like, well, it is what it is. The majority won.
Yeah. And let's see who else. We're going to get out of here. Ooh, Donovan and Tech Phoenix. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. She did. You crazy Herschel janky promoters. Kimberly says, do you bother to scrutinize or critique the maggots? Didn't hear anything from you. No. And didn't. And won't. Yeah. You know why I'm not? You know why I wouldn't? Because my goal was to make sure that people knew about Kamala. And I'm not new to this. I've been doing this since 2019 about Kamala. Oh, yes, that was my goal, to make sure that people knew about Kamala and the Democrats and the do-nothing Democrats. Because, see, the one thing the Republicans never do, they don't expect, they are now, because they see they have a little leverage with black people, but they didn't show up to the churches and everywhere else twerking with fish fries and all that, expecting black people to show up for nothing. They knew that black people don't come for the Democrats. In fact, it is rare that a presidential candidate gets any more than 15% of the black vote up until Trump, right? So my goal wasn't to talk about a party that don't ask for the vote like the Democrats do. Democrats have been benefiting from black people ever since the 30s, and we have not been benefiting from the Democrat Party. So no, I'm not going to spend my time talking about MAGA. I'm not. Anyway, Charles, how you doing? Says, oh, the Democrats did not raise the price of wigs. You better stop. Raise the price of wigs, fake nails, or makeup.
You better thank a union member. You better thank.
What are we doing? BJ says Kamala, you crazy, thought she couldn't lose the black support and all that sucking, shucking, and jiving. Didn't work this time, and Democrats don't believe in pivoting. Fat son, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Carrie says rent tripled, groceries doubled, every bill went up. The reason they lost is because kitchen table issues. Yep, people are suffering and can't pay their bills, but yet they kept on wanting to open up the floodgates to immigration and come on in, and you watch them eat greedy with big old giant amounts on their EBT card, and you ain't eating better today. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're right. That was an issue. That's right, Raven. We coming, Corey Jackson. Don't get too comfortable in that seat because you about to come up out of there. You better believe it. So anyway, I mean, Kimberly, you can say what you want about me. You saying I'm being foolish. The vote was stolen. Okay, knock it off. Because when Trump was saying that, y'all, the underwear were so jugged up in places it shouldn't have been when Trump said that. But here y'all are. Are y'all gonna climb the Capitol wall next? Let me know so I can be front and center with some popcorn like I was when Trump and them was doing it. Because Donovan called me and says, "Are you watching the news?" I'm like, "Nah, what's going on?" He says, They tearing up the Capitol. I said, "Surely you lying." And I was stuck. I was stuck for like 6 hours because I had other stuff to do. I was like, God, well, look at this. These white folks still in a couple of black people. And ran up into the Capitol. Had their feet all up on Nancy Pelosi's desk and stuff. Are y'all about to do it too? Because that's how you're sounding. You got your rope ready to...
Yeah, and what I don't understand is she's saying that the vote was stolen, but yet Kamala has conceded, the Democrats have conceded. There's no election that I'm aware of, and she was the candidate. But you seem to know better than the candidate. So what are your sources since you know that it was stolen? Oh, but or is that how you feel? There's a big difference.
Yeah, where's your receipts? Kamala came. She didn't want to. Now she left them hanging at Howard. Left them hanging after they was. Ain't no stopping us now. And then she had homeboy come out. Kamala will not be joining you this evening. They booed, and of course she came out the next day and says, "Yeah, Trump won. Go home." And then she went off to Hawaii and did the hula dance with a man. So how are you saying that the election was stolen and they not saying that? See, you tripping. Don't do it. I'm saying, sis, it ain't worth it. Don't scale the Capitol walls. Okay, don't do it. That's all I'm saying. Cedric, he says, if it's one thing that you can count on, and that's Dems not being accountable. Yeah, there's a lot of people who ain't being accountable. A. Lee Morris, how you doing? Says that Senator Everett Dirksen, Republican Illinois, hadn't rallied Republicans to support LBJ's 1964-65 bills, they never would have gotten past. Dems led by Dixiecrats fought the legislation both tooth and nail. You're absolutely right.
Yes, on that bill, Republicans, every Republican in the Senate voted for, no, even and Congress voted for the bill. And that embarrassed LBJ, where it was like he had to do something. He had to do something because if he didn't sign that bill, it made the Democrats look bad. And it was the Dixiecrats, which Joe Biden was mentored by, Eastland and all the Dixiecrats that fought it tooth and nail, which gave the longest filibuster in history.
Yep. Easy. I did hear about the lawsuit, $100 million that Malcolm X's family, along with Benjamin Crump, is filing against the government, the FBI, CIA, and the NYPD. Only problem I have with Benjamin Crump is that why didn't you talk to Kamala when you had her ear and you was romping and stomping around the country trying to get her in the White House? Why you didn't talk to her then when she was showing up to funerals and stuff, talking about, are we gonna make sure Biden signs the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act? Why you didn't tell her to do it? They could have walked over to the DOJ and say, hey, can you do us a solid? We did Malcolm X wrong, and I think he should get $100 billion. His family should. But yeah, Benjamin Crump think he's slick. I did a story about it on Emancipation Media. I'm not sure if I put it out today, but it will be out this week. Brother Damon, how you doing? We about to get out of here. Kimberly, girl, if you don't stop. I want you to take a sabbatical from Joy, Reed, and all of them. Just take a sabbatical. Just put the remote control down. Go outside, smell some daisies. Whatever it is you do to get some rest and relaxation, but stop it, okay?
For the next 4 years, the reality is the next 4 years, you're going to be under a Trump administration. That's all there is to it. And I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat. Neither side does anything for Black people. The record shows that. Come on. So what's the big deal here? For Black people, nothing changes for us. We're still in the ghettos. We're still struggling. Other groups are being put in here over us, giving them resources. So what's the infighting?
Kimberly, I'm a misogynist. I mean, I've been called worse. I don't know how you I guess I'm a woman hater. I'm a woman who hates women. What it is you don't like black women that tell the truth. So you like black women that keep you in denial and make you feel good. Do you want to feel good or do you want to be good, sis? See, just feeling good is what? It's temporary. Now you don't like the truth. That ain't my fault. You know, it wasn't just me. A lot of people didn't like Kamala, but all of a sudden, you know, I'm a misogynist. Like I said, I've been called worse by better people.
And then I don't know if Kimberly lives in California. You look at her 2019 campaign. She didn't do well there. She is not very liked here in my home state of California. So the people that don't live in California, that don't understand her record and what this woman does, the bottom line is she was a very bad candidate. And that's what we said. She ran on something stupid. Demetra and I both knew she wasn't going to win from the time that she took. And you got to think about this. When you're on a ticket politically and you're the vice president, you have to ride with the ship. Demetra and I were on a show called The War Zone with the great Jerry Monroe. When Demetra left the show, I had to leave the show because I have to ride and die with who I came with. Kamala Harris, as the VP, what the Democrats should have done was they should have invoked Article 25, put her in as the president and the incumbent, and she would have ran a better campaign than what she did because she's the incumbent. But they didn't do that. And if you didn't do that, you're the vice president. You don't turn around and backstab the man that put you on the ticket. Because remember, she failed in 2019. And it was Biden that selected her because black women said he must select a black woman as his VP. And he selected her and she stabs him in the back. I don't know.
Yeah, Kimberly, please. I mean, like I said, when Trump was saying that the Democrats cheated, y'all was, oh, it's not you. No. Now y'all, I just, it's, you know what I'm gonna do after I get off of here? I'm gonna twist my hair up. No, I don't. I'm drinking this green juice. Hello and hallelujah. Okay, I need to stir it up. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna twist my hair up into my Miss Seeley plaits, and I'm gonna think about watching The Last Dragon again. I would think about watching The Last Dragon. Hey, I saw Gladiator yesterday with Denzel Washington.
Did they take the kissing scene out? I heard that they cut the kissing scene out.
The kissing scene was cut out. I'm a Gladiator fan. I'm glad that they're making it to a franchise. It was a great movie. I won't tell y'all because I don't want to give the movie away, but I'm like, Denzel. You guys watch it, then you'll know what I mean. I don't like to spoil movies. Yes, The Last Dragon. I think I'm gonna watch it again. Show enough, Black. Show enough. Oh, really? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We about to get out of here. I'm glad Gladiator was good. I really like it. I love the Gladiator movies. It was good. I just Denzel. I'm like, what are you doing, man? But maybe he wanted to do something he's never done before. Tito, how you doing? I don't know. P. Burley, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. So anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We're going to get on out of here. See y'all on Tuesday. And if something more interesting comes up, we'll talk about it. But we're gonna rock and roll with it until the wheels fall off. I hope you guys aren't too annoyed. But yeah. And in the meantime, you guys stay tuned to stay blessed and have a great evening. Peace. Yes, Denzel was in the Gladiator. Yeah, y'all check it out. Kimberly, go get you a drink, some green juice or something, and woosah.